Hello, hello. Is there anybody here, and can anybody hear me? Hello, Chris. What's up, man? How you doing tonight? Hope you're doing good. Wait for some people to come in here. Hey, Sherry, how you doing? Hope everyone's doing good. Says there's 6 people in here. Hello, 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 everybody. Don't be shy. I don't really have anything in particular, so whatever y'all want to talk about, we'll talk about. While we wait for... Oh. Yes, I did valley fish. I got the rainbow tigers from Lucas Brett's. Water changing all day. Fun, fun. I did all mine last night. That usually takes... I usually start around like 5 or so and finish around midnight. Lost 10 guppies today because of ick. Don't know what to do. I would up the temperature to like 80, 86. And then do that, the ick, parasite stuff, whatever you're using to treat. I always use the, I've always used Nox Ick, Nox ICH. It's like malachite green, I think, is the active ingredient. Always up the temperature. That speeds up the life cycle, gets them into their free swimming stage, and then that's when they die. So you get the speed of the life cycle. Put the medicine in there. I usually do it for like 3 days, then do a big water change and see what happens. Or sometimes white spots aren't always ick, and then you get in a whole other thing of fungus and... Oh, she is? Yeah, I didn't know that. I've been doing 8:30. I started doing it 8:30 Saturday nights. I thought she did hers during the week. I got the mosaics from William Rivera. He's from Puerto Rico. Yep. He got wiped out by the hurricane and is building back up. So, maybe you guys seen my video. I got a bunch of stuff from Wish this week. Got TDS meter, filter material, thermometers. Because it went from Wish. I got a bunch of air stones. I got that from Ken's Fish. I get those Never Clog air stones, the little plastic ones. Getting ready to start up the new tanks in the shrimp room. So, slowly accumulating stuff. I have a bunch of airline coming in. Let's see. Maybe if I get motivated, I'll start cleaning out that closet. Because it'll be time to start putting up them tanks and building racks. I think I can fit at least 15, 20 longs in there to make a total of 20. Oh, okay. The 20. Let's see what today's the. Yeah, I thought she always did hers during the middle of the week, Sherry. So I'm gonna try to ship some fish out this week. And I can only do 5 because I only have 5 heat packs left. I was looking. That means I've already shipped out. I think I got a pack of 20. I can't really remember. Yeah, they have red and blue. Red and blue with big ears. They're really, really nice. Like, I did a video on them earlier this week, I think it was. Maybe it was last Sunday. I don't remember Valley Fish, but I think that's when I did it. But yeah, that's a pretty good look at them in that video. They do pretty good. I'm in a pretty good mood this week. Started my new job. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to get pretty much every Friday off. 3-day weekend every week. When the days get longer, I'm only going to work 7 hours on Thursday. So that means I'll get home early afternoon Thursday and have the whole weekend off. I'm going to work 3 11s Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Right now I'm working 4 10s. So, new job is more of a brain job instead of physical labor. That means I feel like doing stuff when I come home. So that makes me a lot happier. Lots and lots of paperwork to do with this new job, but it's better than loading logs and picking up branches and what I was doing before, cutting trees down. Hey, Green Tea, how you doing? Excuse me. Well, yeah, better on my back and knees. That's for sure. Eventually, Valley Fish will be interested in more guppy lines, but first thing I'm going to do is get the shrimp going, get the shrimp room going, and then I'll start the That might be a while before I get started on the other guppies. I want to have a bunch of different guppy and inler lines. That'll be on the next expansion. The first expansion is going to be on the shrimp room. And then hopefully, depending how much money I end up spending doing the shrimp room, then hopefully I can do the stock tanks. But we'll see. We'll see how that all goes. Yep. My new job. I'll go out. I'll drive around a Chevy 3500 dually with a 300-gallon tank on it. Pulling a trailer with a 6x6 UTV with a 50-gallon spare room or dog. No. No upside downtown. I don't sell any supplies or native fish. Just a couple lines of guppies and some shrimp and some plants. That's all I got now. I'm not really a store. I'm just a hobbyist breeder. Maybe someday I'll be a store. Yeah, I like that new koi line. That's definitely one I'll be getting. Those kois are pretty awesome, or them koi lines are pretty awesome. I never liked the other ones. I don't like albinos. They're kind of sickly. Let's see if this will work better. Up here. Yeah. Yeah. The supplies are stored purchased, then you stocked it with negative. I'm not sure where you're going with that upside down. Yeah, that's what a lot of people say, Sherry. The albino, all the albinos, I wouldn't want the albinos. Yeah. Yeah, Valley Fish. My are so good for guppies, I probably could do them, but I don't know. I don't want to have something that's weak and ship them out to people without perfect water for guppies and then look bad because everything I send out dies. That'd be kind of what I'm worried about. So I did that TDS meter I got. Thanks, Fish Keeping Jamaica. I appreciate you stopping by and checking out my vids all the time and leaving comments. Thanks. Good to see you in the live stream. Yeah, 200 subs. Who'd have thunk? I've had albino. I had one of them all red albinos with the all reds with the red eye. They're albinos and they're done alright. They're just from Petco. But it was just a mixed colony I had going. And the albino, I very rarely saw any albino ones. They all were like the delta tail, like the black body and red tails. How many tanks in total do I have? I believe it is 13 now. 13. Getting ready to add 15. I'm gonna more than double. I'm gonna get 15, 20 longs going in my shrimp room. Oh, you did a video today on albino fish? I'll have to check that out. I'm really not a fan of the albino guppies. I have 3 different species. Well, they're not the same species. They're Neo shrimp, Neocaridina. But 3 strains right now. Snowballs, yellow golden backs, and fire reds. Oh, you sent the whole tank with the beta? Sherry? I have a little, well, it's my daughter's. Alright, Sherry, thanks for stopping by. I have thousands of snails. Malaysian trumpet snails, pond snails. Ram's horn snails. No big fish. I used to have kind of big fish, but not anymore. Years ago, I used to keep Severums. I've had Oscars before, but that goes even further back. When I was a kid, I've had Oscars. Upside town, downtown, yeah. The pond is, the little inside pond is real calming. I love it. Snail population in your ponds. Guess that means if you don't want them or not. I like snails. I don't want to get rid of them. I look at them as they're there to protect from overfeeding. I guess outside there's always going to be algae and stuff growing if you have them outside. If you have them inside, just feed them less. Then the snail population will dwindle itself down. They're only going to breed to how much? If there's less food in there, they'll make less snails. Eventually, they'll dwindle down. Huh. Yeah, they can. Yeah. Assassin snails, I've never had them. A lot of people say they help. Neocaridina don't eat small fish. The crayfish probably would, if that's what... I don't know if crayfish would even eat snails or not. So you get puffer fish. I know they'll eat snails. They'll clear out the snails real quick. You get yourself some puffer fish. I had a figure 8 puffer when I was a kid. I kept it in fresh because I didn't know it was brackish. They sold it as a freshwater fish. Figure 8 puffer. Puffer not available. Filtration. Most of my stuff use hang-on backs, sponge filters. I have a bucket filter and sponge filters in my stock tank. I have all kinds of different filters. Yeah, I don't mind snails. I have thousands of them in all my tanks. No sumps, because I have so many tanks. Now, if I was just going to have like one, if I was just going to have like one 180 gallon tank, and it was just a display tank, then I'd probably have a sump. But for like fish room style tanks and even my nicer looking tanks, I just use hang-on backs. If noise is a concern, I'll use hang-on backs. But just for like shrimp tanks and stuff, each one of my tanks is their own system. So one filter for each tank. They don't share filtration. Each one of my tanks is its own quarantine. I set up a tank to get something and breed something in. I set up the tank, put that one thing in there, and that's that. It breeds or it doesn't. I've never had one fail yet. So that's how that is. I have my own separate filtration for every tank. It's either sponge filter, hang-on back, or my stock tank I have a DIY bucket filter. You don't have tanks in, you must live somewhere tropical. It's just sponge filters and air. I have a big centralized air pump for my shrimp room. Just a sponge filter in every tank. And I do have, actually the 175 gallon has 2 hang-on backs. So 13 tanks, 14 different filters. Well, and then I have multiple filters in my stock tank. So yeah, I got a lot of filters. In the event of a power outage, luckily I've lived in this town for, let's see, 10 years. Yeah, I've lived in this town for 10 years. And the longest I've ever lost power was like 2 hours. But yeah, so getting a generator just in case is something I really need to look into. In case something bad happens, like a bad ice storm or something, and the whole town loses power for a week or so. But in my town, it's a small town. Things kept up really well. All the trees trimmed. There's no trees growing in the lines. It's all really well kept up. Rock aquascapes, yeah. Have you ever tried a plant pond out? Yeah, I have a pond outside. If you go back, to videos that I posted like 3 or 4 years ago, I have a bunch of videos on my pond. It's a goldfish pond outside. Goldfish are in my pond outside. My fish tanks are heated. All my tanks are heated except for the shrimp room. And the shrimp tanks don't have heaters in them. And those tanks are anywhere from 72 or 68 to 74 usually. Seems like. Yeah, I'm thinking, yeah, this will be the 7th year I've had that pond going outside. And I still have a lot of the original goldfish I started off with. Thanks for stopping by, Fish Keeping Jamaica. See you later, man. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I started off with like 17, I think. And there's probably still like 7 or 8 of the original ones left in there. And there's probably like a whole bunch of babies out there. I have videos of them spawning on my old videos before I started being a fish channel. I have some old videos that have like 7,000 views. Goldfish. They are just Sarsacomet goldfish and some Habuna goldfish, which are just the regular goldfish. Sarasa means they're red and white. Sarsacomets and Habuna. I bought them at the pet store. They're labeled as pond goldfish, but I had a pond at my other house that was even bigger than this one before I moved here. And I had probably 150, 200 goldfish in that one. I started off with about 20. I just kept breeding and breeding and breeding and breeding because that one had a great big huge footprint. It like took up half my yard. Cool. Yeah, they're old videos. And that's just on this pond. I don't have any on my old pond. Because that was back in like the early 2000s. I had that pond at my old house. That pond was like 2002 to 2006, 2007. It was my old pond. Way before YouTube days. Way before YouTube. That was just when I was just first getting a digital camera back then. I had that at the old house. Did you forget the chlorinator or leave the hose on or something? I've about killed my pond before by changing the water and forgetting to turn the hose off. I went out there and they was all just kind of floating on their side, struggling. I ran inside, hurry up, threw some decorator in there, and then they all ended up being alright. See you later, Fish Keeping Jamaica. Thanks for stopping by, man. Alright. Let's see. Yep. Green tea. I got styrofoam panels now. My outside pond has a filter. Okay, Jamaica. Yep, I got the styrofoam panels, green tea, and then I have insulation and heating packs, so that's why I'm going to ship. And the weather's supposed to be better, so I think I'll have... The shrimp have always done fine the way I've done it, but the fish struggle when it gets cold. So I got styrofoam and I got breather bags now too. I hadn't been using breather bags before. I got breather bags, styrofoam panels, styrofoam panels to make their own box within a box. Then I'm going to put insulation in there on that. Okay, that's you. Green tea. Alright, sometimes I gotta keep them all together. Keep in my head whose nicknames and whose emails go with who. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure you'll like them. They're nice. They're real nice. Yeah, I got 5 heat packs left. And I got stuff going out to Sherry, got stuff going out to you. And so I got 3 more heat packs to try sending out. There's another guy I'm supposed to send some fish to, but I think he's wanting to wait till spring. Because he don't want to lose any more. So he's got anglers coming to him as well. Yep. So is the stream looking alright to everyone? It's been staying yellow, which ain't bad, but not bad. Oh, it's green now, so maybe it'll be working better than it was. Excuse me. I don't know why I'm yawning. I'm not tired. Alright, let's see. What else can we talk about here? Well, there's another guy ordered shrimp. I sent out shrimp to last Thursday. He still hasn't got it. It still hasn't been sent back to me. It's still floating around in the mail, lost in the mail. So I'm waiting, and that was a lot of shrimp. That was like $90 worth of shrimp. So I'm waiting before I sell any more of those. I'm probably going to have to replace those for that guy. So I'm waiting to find out what's going on there. So that kind of sucks. 300-gallon plywood and tile long tanks. Yeah. You can get, I don't know where you're located, but you can get the Rubbermaid stock tanks that are, yeah, they're showing up on tracking. It just keeps saying, keeps getting sent back and forth saying the zip code error. So it goes from this post office to this post office to another post office. I thought it was going to be sent back to me, but it never was. And so now that's been, let's see, 9 days ago now. They're lost somewhere in New York City. Like, let's see, almost 40, pretty much 40 yellow goldenback shrimp lost in the mail. So that sucked a big one. Yeah. Yeah. 40 shrimp, sitting in the mail. They're probably, I imagine, they might be alive by now. But the last 2 weeks I sent out, oh, probably over 100 shrimp. 0 dead on arrivals, except for that guy who's got, oh yeah, I've sent out well over 100 shrimp. Now I think about it. All the others were 0 DOAs. And then that guy's got 40 of them lost. Yeah, shrimp eat the fish poop. My favorite plant right now is probably my Pilo moss. I like my stem plants too. Like the water wisteria and that higher growth Coryambosa. Yep. Valley fish, it is sad and it ticks off because they told me when I went to the post office and mailed it, they told me that address don't show up in their computer. The correct zip code is this. I talked to the guy and he told me no, it is that zip code. So then I called the post office and told them, no, it is this zip code. We had to figure out what was going on. Well, this guy, he'd used a dash in his street number for years. Well, the post office changed it. Well, he'd been going on and doing, but the dash, whatever the reason, that made the computer send it to another zip code. Well, I called my post office less than an hour after I sent it, after I dropped it off there, and found out that it does need to go. And we changed the dash, and they said, yes, that shows up in the computer right without the dash. So then we done all that. They told me they changed it, but they didn't. It still tried to go to the 10009 instead of the 1010 something outside of New York. They went right to Manhattan, New York. It went to his post office, then it went back to the distribution center, and now it just says lots. Basically, they don't know what to do with it. My post office said they changed it, and apparently they didn't. So now there's 40 shrimp, probably sitting dead. 40 yellow goldenback shrimp, real nice shrimp, wasted. Because the damn post office screwed it all up. See you guys, anything else? What y'all guys got going on? Let's see. Yeah, just sitting here looking at my fish. Maybe I can show you my view that I got, so you don't have to look at me. See how that looks. Then I can read my chat on my phone. Let's see here. I trim that. That's the Rainbow Tiger Endler tank. I got that tank all trimmed up and looking good. It was an overgrown mess. And I've got that trimmed up and looking respectable. Overgrown mess. Oh. Yeah, it's always nice to have a weekend off. Flattered that you're using it to watch my YouTube vids. No, I don't do leaf litter. No leaf litter for me. Why is it Ymail? That's my email address. It's a form of, it's not, a lot of people think it's Gmail, but it's not. It's Ymail, which I've had this email address for years. It's an offshoot of Yahoo Mail. Ymail is Yahoo Mail. I've had this email address for a long, long time, back when Yahoo was a big thing. Yahoo, before Google took over the world, Yahoo was a big thing. I've had this email address for years and years. So that's why it's Ymail. That's just what it is. I was getting kind of concerned. Oh yeah, Hotmail, Yahoo. Yeah, or oh, it could be AOL. I still have an AOL email address, but it belongs to my parents. It's still active. And my PayPal default address is actually that AOL account. My parents have had AOL since I lived at home, and that was my first email address. And that was about 20 years ago. When I was a teenager in high school living at home. And this tank, the substrate, it's black diamond blasting sand, and it's probably a couple inches, an inch and a half, 2 inches maybe. I like a little bit of substrate so I can anchor my stem plants in there so they can take root. But it's not showing up on that video. But I was getting a little concerned because I keep fire red shrimp in there with the endlers, and their population was getting kind of low. But now making a full comeback. We're back to having over 1,000 fire red shrimp in there now. There's tons and tons of them in there. You might be able to see some of them swimming around. But on top of the moss, I fed them before I went live. So all the shrimp are still out and about, eating up the flakes that are left on the moss. Back to having tons and tons in that tank. And my original fire red shrimp colony, I oversold it and it's struggling to recover. Hey Sherry, glad you make it back. Not much, we was talking about my pond and goldfish. I have an outside pond with goldfish in it. Kind of miss that. I answered some questions from Fish Keeping Jamaica about shrimp and how I filter. All that. Didn't miss a whole lot. I'm still here. Oh. They're gonna let people look at the tank instead of me. Yeah, Sherry. Yeah. I did it 1 year with my goldfish pond that I have outside. Back when I had my Petco guppy colony. I put out like 5 females and 2 or 3 males in April. And then in October I fished out probably over 100 of them. And that was with the goldfish eating most of them. They still had tons of them, even with all the big goldfish in there. A lot of them made it hiding in the algae and plants. So I have a bunch of water lilies in there. Yeah, you can do some cool aquascaping stuff with sand. That's for sure. I like my tanks looking like forests. Moss covering the substrate and tossed in plants in the back. So you can see what this tank looks like. Then some Anubias sometimes here and there. I used to always do sword plants and crypts in my tanks too. My old guppy colony I had for years. I had that colony going for like 7 or 8 years, and I had 2 crypts that took over the entire tank. It got to the point when crypts got so big. It was a brown crypt and a Wendetii crypt, and they got so big that there's no room for the fish to swim. Yeah, I know, Sherry. That's kind of how mine are too. If you stick with it and let them grow long enough and have patience, they end up looking pretty good. Like if you said you was looking at some of my old videos today, and my tanks didn't look all that great at first. Just gotta have patience for them to grow in. I got impatient and tried filling everything with guppy grass because it grew so fast. And I got sick of that real quick. And now I have guppy grass growing wild in all my tanks and can't get rid of it. The guppy grass is good to have though in some of your tanks. I probably have a couple tanks just for guppy grass because it's good to use when you ship shrimp. Put a clump of guppy grass in the bag. Probably keep a tank with just guppy grass or something, and use it to ship shrimp. But yeah, I got a whole bunch of guppy grass in one of the shrimp room tanks. I'm gonna have to start picking that out. Yeah, you're right, Sherry. It grows so fast. Like when I got this TDS meter, I noticed my tanks I let duckweed get out of hand again. The tanks with loads of duckweed in them always have a lower TDS because they grow so fast, multiply so fast, and suck all the nutrients out of the water, so they have lower TDSs. Man, can't stop yawning. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Those nebulas do look good. I like those. Steel nebulas. Might have to try a line of those. I'm definitely getting those tuxedo kois. Definitely. I like pandas. I want to try have a colony of panda guppies too. I thought about on the top row of I may not have 20 shrimp tanks. I may do a couple 40. I may put a couple 40s on the top shelf and may do some, get those, do different guppy strains. So I think I could get 3 40s, so maybe it'd end up being 17 shrimp tanks and 3 40s to do some colonies in. Because I really do want to do, I want to start a panda colony. And those tuxedo kois. And then I'm not sure, the steel nebulas are pretty cool. Sounds good, Valley Fish. How many of those do you have? Well, I was looking around at your channel and saw some of them videos of your steel nebulas. I told that William Rivera when he's ready to start selling his tuxedo koi, I'll consider me first in line, because he just imported them and went for them to see how they breed out. And when they breed out good, he's going to start selling them. I definitely need some of those in my life. That's for sure. And I want to do pandas, and I'm not sure on the other one. Those steel nebulas are looking, they look pretty freaking nice. Pretty nice. Can you guys hear me alright since I turned the computer to the fish tank? Oh yeah, how much do you get out of them at your local fish store? How much they give you for them? Thanks, NSA, go away. Glad the sound is good. I'm just reading the chat on my phone. Relaxing. Hanging out with you guys. I don't have to worry about picking my nose and everyone seeing me. That's not too bad. How much do they sell them for, Valley Fish? Like $5 a piece? I'm gonna have to do some thinning out of my grass guppies. Yeah, $5, $6 each. The only like local pet store that's even remotely close to me, their guppies are blah. They have lots of big fish. Like they sell Oscars and Jack Dempsey's, stuff like that. Yeah. Yep, thinning out the. That's what I want to start doing with. I want to start putting my. I want to start being more strict on my calls. And anything that remotely doesn't pass, and I'll put in a mixed tank. And sell those for cheap. Like $5 a pair, $6 a pair, something like that. My mixed guppy tank. I'm going to keep this tank here because I'm looking at all the mixed colors. I'm going to get a stock tank, and whenever this tank starts getting crowded like it is now, scoop out most of them, put them in a stock tank, and whenever I cull, put the culls in the stock tank, and let them all breed out, and whatever happens, happens, and sell them as mixed guppies for like $6 a pair. Something like that. 5 pair for $30. Because really, the mixed tanks are my favorite, to be honest. Because I like all the different colors all mixed in together. And then my favorite tank is my hybrid assorted tank. I'm going to do a stock tank with those guys. Those Guppy Inler hybrids those things are awesome. They're my favorite by far. They're so active, they're wild like Inlers. They look like little guppies. They have all kinds of crazy colors. There's always something new coming out of them. Like, oh, I ain't seen that one before. They have like tiger and mosaic patterns on the same fish. Pretty awesome. Those steel nebulas, they're kind of, They kind of have a tiger body to them too, don't they? They have the... I've looked at them. I may take you up on that valley fish when I get all my tanks set up. Because even though I want to do all the shrimp, get that stuff going, I still got to add more guppies. Because I am a guppy nerd at heart. I love my shrimp, but the guppies have my heart. Guppies and endlers. Love them to death. What I'm excited about is getting some Blue Dreams going. I'm pretty pumped about that. I've been wanting Blue Dreams forever. And now I'm finally going to be able to get those when I get... Oh yeah, valley fish. You save your very best ones for me, valley fish. I'll pay top dollar for them. They're really good. I'll pay for them. You get me the best of the best. That's my whole thing, is when I start breeding something, I don't want anything that's questionable. I want the best of the absolute best I can get my hands on. If you've been calling them real hard and they look really good, I definitely am interested. That's for sure. I can't wait for those koi tuxedos. Woo. Those things are badass. Bet you I'll pay a pretty penny for those. All my fish, let's see, William Rivera, my guppies, what I got off him, I paid $25 a pair to get all for my guppy strains. He had a deal going, or if you bought 3 of them, 3 pairs, the shipping was free. And he ended up giving me 4 pairs of each for $150. So I started off 4 pairs of cherry grass and 4 pairs of the red mosaic big ears for $150. That's what got me started on the guppies. Yeah, we could do a trade. We could definitely do a trade. I'll probably be ready, I don't know. I got a lot of work ahead of me, but I want to get most of this stuff going. I want to get it ordered and spend the money on it before the family ends up spending all the money. So I'll go ahead, and I need to find somewhere that has $1 per gallon sale here the next month or so. I think Petco's probably due to have one in April, I think. They usually do, what, 3 or 4 a year? $1 per gallons, I think. So maybe getting 30, let's see, 17, 20 longs, or 20 longs, and possibly 3 40 breeders. So that'll be a lot. tanks. Good deal, Valley Fish. Good deal. Yeah, get those going in a 40 breeder. Get the Koi Tuxedos going. I have not, but some of my hybrids do. And that is going to be something I'm going to line out. That is going to be something I line out with hybrids. Some of them do have the big ears. I think Sherry has one of them. Doesn't one of your hybrids I sent you have big ears, Sherry? I think it does. It's like a tiger antler looking guy with big ears. So I know Sherry got all the... Yeah, I saw that. He never goes live on Saturday. I don't know what's up with him going live tonight. That's why my phone just beeped. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you do, Sherry. You got one of the hybrids with the big ears. I'm pretty sure you do. Hopefully he wasn't one of the ones that died in the cold. I think I saw him on your video, though. Hello, Scone Town Aquatics. Scone Town. Hi, how you doing? New face. Glad to see you. Looking at your channel, Scone Town. You're almost to 200 subscribers. Cool. So check it out. Oops, what to the lost my spot on here. I'll get back on here. There we go. Back on here. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to my shrimp room getting going. Looking forward to it a lot. Then it'll be guppy time. After that, I want to get into some of those class endlers as well. The wild strains. I think some of those are pretty cool, like the lime endlers, black bar endlers. I like those a lot. fish, I don't know about mixing shrimp lines. Oh, well, I've got a tank where I'm trying it. And just, they're just, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know if I'm into shrimp and know enough about shrimp to do that. I like breeding them and raising them. But the guppies and stuff, that's where I want to create my own line. Mixing hybrids and breeding out hybrids, lining them out. That's what I want to do. He always has bad connection problems, it seems like. Green tea. Max Headroom. I remember I had a Max Headroom watch when I was a little kid. I think my connection's been pretty good tonight. Now I'm not streaming a video and a live stream. It's just a live stream video. Max Headroom. That goes back a while. That's an 80s thing. Oh, you want to see the endlers, Sherry? I don't know. Let's see if I can get it close enough. You probably just see the reflection of the screen if I get too close. Let's see. Still can't really see anything. The camera's pretty crappy. Yeah, I still can't see nothing. You can see the shrimp when I hold it up close. Kind of. You have to get some of those, Sherry. Well, that's the problem I have when I go to catch you can't catch a certain fish. Like, just on my dip cups with water, I usually catch, like, I have to be careful not to catch out a bunch. When I just fill a cup full of water, I'll have 15 in there. Because anytime I walk up to the tank, they all swarm to the top thinking they're getting fed. And they just dip in the cup in there to get water. And I put a bunch in there. So it's easy to catch fish, it's just impossible to catch a fish. That's one of the reasons why I don't sell the shrimp in there. Because you get a scoop full of shrimp, you're going to end up with 30 guppies. Or endlers in that tank. Well, the rainbow tiger endlers are technically a hybrid. They've got guppy in them too. Because the LRB's rainbow tiger antlers, they're Just a regular tiger antler crossed with a blue starburst antler, I believe. Or the starburst antlers. Crossed back and then they have a little bit of the starburst antler gene in them. He back crossed them. But yeah. That's what they are. And he's bred them and they're a good solid line now. He worked on them for a while, I can tell. They're my favorite fish. The rainbow tiger antlers, that's for sure. Oh yeah? Are your mixed ones having babies yet that I sent you, Sherry? Is that the mixed ones you're talking about, or you got your own mixed ones? Nice. Nice. Yeah, it gets real interesting when you have those hybrids. When you have my hybrids breeding with the guppies. You get some real interesting looking little guys. Like I have one that looks like a purple mosaic. But he's got red on him. It's like the tip of his tail's red. And then most of his tail purple. Like a purpley mosaic. And he has big ears and a big dorsal. Yeah. That's what I think my mixed ones are my favorites. And then you get the cherry grass and the bluegrass culls mixing with the red mosaic line. You get some real lookers mixing those too. Some of those fish, some of my mixed fish are breathtaking. Like, my favorite fish in the world are mixed. But as far as lines go, my favorite line is the rainbow tiger antlers. But when it comes to particular fish, I gotta look at my mixed tank and pick out my favorite ones. The ones where it's all mixed together. Then my hybrid tank. That's probably the most entertaining tank to watch. So up there with the rainbow tiger antlers. They got some really good genetics, that's for sure, about the rainbow tiger antlers. You mix them with anything, you get some cool looking stuff. That's for sure. Very, very nice. Intertube. Nature's Aquascapes and Clear Waters. Yeah. Alright, thanks. And I said go away. Thank you for coming by. Hope you get a good night's rest. Look forward to your email. Thanks for stopping by and checking the stream out. It's always fun to see what's going on with everyone. I'm enjoying these live streams more and more. I feel like, I didn't really like the last couple ones. I've had fun doing them. So I'll keep doing them. Try to do it 8:30. Next Saturday too. Oh yeah. Yeah. Used to dive and swim through a 10-foot deep pool with a rock archway. Oh yeah, baby corridors. I used to always have them. I just haven't for years. I was probably a kid last time I had some Corys. Because when I was first an adult, I got into the big cichlids. And then I did African cichlids. Then I did more. Then I had my Severum tank forever. Then I had convict tanks and other cichlid tanks, an African tank again. Then I was down to just one tank and I kept guppies in it. And I did my pond. So then I decided to go big with my fish tank stuff. Oh, yeah. Brandy, that's my wife. You going to bed? So old wife's going to bed. Maybe she won't beat me tonight. Oh, goodness. Yep. Well, everyone, I think I'm going to get off here too. Everyone's got to go. Yeah, Valley Fish, you have a good night. Thanks, everyone, for coming. Thank you, Sherry. And I say go away, upside town, downtown. Let's see who else was in here tonight. Schoontown Aquatics, thank you. Green Tea, thank you. Valley Fish, if I haven't said you already, thank you. Fish Keeping Jamaica, thank you. I appreciate all you guys coming by tonight. Everyone have a good night. Stay safe. Have a good week. And I'll do this again next week, same time.